Hey everybody, welcome back to The Nexus, where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. Today I'm really excited to introduce you to Peter Lillyman. He is the owner of Bulletproof Roofing. He's just a really great human being and a lot of fun. I can't wait for you guys to get to know him. Welcome to the show, Peter.
Thanks, Renee.
Yeah.
And I want to start by saying I co-own the company.
Oh, that's right. So we gotta give credit to your business partner.
Yeah, Corey Flagg is co-owner, and we are partnering together to do something exciting and different, hopefully, than the rest of the industry.
Yeah. What's really cool is we met shortly after you started the company together, and it felt like we were both just sort of finding our way in business. And so it's nice to share that in common with you. And, you know, we've had struggles and we can talk about those, but we can also talk about successes. And it's fun to see where we're at, like a few years later down the road. So
where were you at when we met last year?
Yes, that was about 2 years into the business.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I think it was about the same, or you were just maybe 6 months
we were
behind
just
that.
starting, We were just starting in January 2021, so this is our second year in business.
Yeah. And you've come a long ways in a short time. So tell our audience maybe a little bit of your background and maybe why you decided to get into roofing business.
Yeah. Well, I started in the industry with zero experience. So I was hired based on my personality, and I started in sales, and I would say, just looking back, I would say I failed my first year doing roofing. I gave it my best effort. I worked, I put in the hours, but to get thrown into the hail season, mid-season, with no construction background, and be kind of swimming and not really being able to tread water, I struggled my first year. And after
like
my
you were
first
drowning, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after my first year, I was like, I don't think I want to do this ever again. And I took a trip to Africa. And after a few months, I came back and I realized, you know, that was a good experience for me, because whenever we suffer or we face adversity, we have the opportunity to learn from it and grow.
Right.
And so I couldn't see that growth when I was in it, but when I stepped back and went to Africa, it was a lot slower pace, and I was thinking about just everything that happened. I was like, I should give it another year. And so I gave it another year, and then I did okay the next year, I did well the next year, and I did very well the next year. And so that was kind of the trajectory for me. But as you probably know, many businesses fail, and many people that take risks, especially in commission-based industries, fail sometimes before they succeed.
You can fail 5 times before you
succeed. You can fail a bunch of times. So
the point is to keep showing up.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really interesting perspective, that like while you were away, you were able to look at it as, well, that was a challenge, and I've probably never really enjoyed working so much as when I was being challenged to that point. And I feel like I kind of had it down, I guess, before I left. And now that I'm thinking about it, like, I can probably do way better. And that's just such an awesome attitude to come back from Africa and go back to doing what you felt like you failed at.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I think part of it was something that I had already been through and put in the hours for. So starting something new wasn't something that I really wanted to do. But there was a part of it which, throughout my life, just finding a challenge and conquering the mountain. I'm tapping this mic here with my hands. Conquering the mountain is something that I love to do. So whether that's physically or, you know, mentally, reaching that mountaintop and finding, you know, that goal and achieving it is really awesome.
Not walking away from it until you can feel like you did summit the mountain. Okay, so probably helped you in starting Bulletproof when you kind of went through starting a business while you were in Africa, and I'm not sure it was that trip that you did that, but you essentially started a gym and created a lot of job opportunity. And I loved hearing that story. Tell us a little bit about that. I'm sure it translated into starting your company. So
it doesn't translate as much into the company as you would think, but it was a good learning experience on a small, like tiny little scale of what owning your own business might look like.
Managing people and
customers. It was a small scale because it was myself and then one or two other instructors, and then it was managing the members. So, but it was mostly expat members in Africa, and it was a CrossFit type designed workout. Even though I'm not CrossFit certified or anything like that in Africa, it
doesn't matter.
But
it's the wild, wild west still.
We wanted something that was unique, and in African culture, typically only the wealthy really know and understand that working out is good for you because they're getting plenty of exercise on a day-to-day basis. And, if they get one steady meal a day, that's a lot.
That's living.
For a lot of them. Yeah. So the gym lifestyle, so it was predominantly more the wealthy Africans and the expatriates that were attending the gym.
Yeah.
But to summarize that gym, the reason why it was a great learning curve was it enabled me to see, okay, how much, profit do we need to live, to pay myself a decent salary to live off of? And what is the value that we're presenting in this market?
Yeah.
And, you realize very fast, especially in Africa, you either need a lot more volume to create more profit or enough profit, or you've got to have another product. Because even though it was kind of cutting edge for Africa, a lot of people don't care about exercise.
You're up against a big challenge for sure. So did you end up offering another product then?
No. So we ended up moving back to the U.S. and
went back to the roofing biz.
Went back to the roofing biz. So it was just a little taste of what it might be to own my own business. But I actually never really put it into, I guess, thought and vision for owning my own company in the U.S. really until my mid-30s, which was like a little while ago. So, and I think where that came from was, especially during COVID, when I had a lot of time to just think, it was kind of thinking on what experience have I had with other companies, and of those leaders, do I have some of the attributes, that they have, and, would I be of the quality to do what they do? And I realized I absolutely have. And to be honest, I believe everyone has that potential to own their own business. It's just, have they been able to be, living their best self and, growing and maturing along the journey? Because there's so much substance abuse or laziness, whatever the case. If you're not able to be on your A game, then you can start a business, but it might fail because you're not billing people in time. People are in arrears, or you're not managing your staff, or maybe the culture within the company, because of how you present yourself and do business, is poor and your turnover rate is very high. So
getting people to see your vision and train people to do just as good a job as you would do. And I think there's a difference between some people creating a job for themselves, which they will say they own a company, but it's really just a job.
Right.
And, the revenues go to them. But some people create a company, and that's a completely different ball game, you know. And there's a lot of challenges that go into that, because then you wear a million hats, and you're trying to be the CFO, the CMO, the CEO. So you're just everything to everyone at that point. So it's
Yeah.
a good thing you have a business partner. That would be helpful. I'm sure you guys
is.
have different strengths that balance you out in the company, and you take on different roles. So tell us a little bit more about Bulletproof and kind of what makes you guys unique, and why people should want to work with you.
I think our communication and being very customer centric is unique. A lot of companies will say they are, but when you have an experience with them, it might not be the case. So I think our communication, how many times have you had an experience working with somebody in the construction industry and trying to get a hold of them is like pulling teeth?
Yeah.
I've had it multiple times with, when I was an adjuster for farmers insurance and working with other, contractors, trying to get a hold, it's like, just call me back. Like,
it shouldn't be that hard.
If you want business, just call me back. So we're very diligent about us or, our team calling, very promptly and setting an appointment, within typically 24 hours. And then we can typically get an estimate within another 24 hours. And it's usually sooner. But setting those expectations with our team, and then also backing up what we inform the customer of, how we're going to handle everything is really important. It pays dividends when you actually do what you say you're going to do and you're prompt. You're already one step ahead. And then
right. Definitely.
And so we also specialize in insurance claims because of my adjusting background and my partner's background in working with insurance companies. We both specialize in it and train our guys. So we can essentially take a claim, and then if whatever the person needs done with it, we handle the whole rest of it. So it's just like, here's the claim, and then we handle it from top to bottom and figure out, what we have to do for them. So the stress of it is out of their hands. They don't have to go back and forth with the insurance company. They're paying this, why won't they pay that? We just know the game and we know how to play it, and so we take that stress off their plate and get it done.
I've definitely heard that story from people in the last few years, the not getting a call back, or someone not showing up for an appointment, or the insurance company not covering something, and it's just so much time out of their life that they don't have. They're trying to do their regular jobs, and all of those things can be very frustrating, especially if you have a roof that needs replaced, and it's not like you have, all the time in the world to get that done.
Right.
So that's awesome. I'm sure your clients really appreciate that. And tell us, like, all the locations that you work in, too.
Typically, we're about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I mean, roughly 50 miles from Interstate 80 across Nebraska, north and south of it.
That's a big territory.
Yep,
That's
it's a big territory.
Yeah.
But I'm growing the company out here in Lincoln and Omaha and the surrounding areas, and then most of our base is in Kearney because Corey Flagg, my business partner, has lived there for 15 years or so, and then my family's lived there, I think, for about 20. We have a lot more reviews and a lot more business coming from there, but we would love to get into Lincoln and Omaha.
Yeah. So we Lincoln and Omaha people.
So we
and
are.
Seward. I mean, Seward has so many people that.
And we have contracted work in Seward and York and
there's
those places, but it would be great to be a little busier out here. So
well, we'll try to help you out. We'll tag your business and try to share it with all of our viewers. And
appreciate it.
One of the things that I am really grateful for was the fact that after I went to Africa, Lindsay Kirkendall said, "Oh, you know who you need to meet is Peter. He, has a passion for Africa." And it was just so nice when I came back to sit down with you and talk about our experiences and how impactful it was to us, and how we have this goal in our life to at some point be able to give back. And so I'm really hoping that at some point we can come up with a plan of something that we can do to help. I mean, there's just so much need, and it was it's something that you can't really explain if you haven't seen it for yourself. So it was just really nice to be able to relate with you about our trips and experiences. And I don't know, do you have anything that you want to add to that about your experiences that you had there?
I think it's really important to know or to note that when you start a business, you know, that's your own personal goals and aspirations, but there is so much outside of that.
Yeah.
And some of that involves, if you want to and you feel like, you know, called to it, is helping other people or creating a business to where it might help and influence other people, whether that's in the local community, whether that's around the world.
Yeah.
But I think if we are striving to be good people and good human beings, the ultimate goal is how can we help other people.
Yeah.
So Africa's been a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 26, I pretty much gave everything in my bank account to a nonprofit organization, and I had a decent amount in there. And then I went over and I just basically served and helped, volunteering for a few months with that organization. But it helps you get outside of yourself, and it helps you understand like the bigger picture of like, it's not just about you in this life. Like, yeah, it is, you have to be selfish in some way, right? Mm-hmm. But there is so much more to life, and so much more you'll get out of it if you're willing to help other people. And
yeah, I was just really struggling when I came back to kind of re-assimilate into America, and it felt, I don't know, it just felt kind of wrong to be asking for people to spend money on a website when there was people in Africa without shoes on, walking miles and miles and miles to work. And it really helped me when you said, well, that's one of the reasons why, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing today, is so that I'm in control of my own destiny. And if there's any way that this for-profit company is able to turn a profit, I will take that profit and try to help other people with it. And so it just kind of gave me permission to go back to a for-profit business that, you know, wasn't really making that much money. And so I thought, well, if I just continue to work really hard at that, maybe at some point there'll be extra and I can do that. So it was really helpful for me, and I appreciated it. But really quick, because I know we're kind of running out of time, but I wanted to give our viewers just a little bit of an insight into Peter. He also, if he puts some glasses on, he looks just like Justin Timberlake. So just visualize the glasses.
you know what? The glasses are gone, actually, because I got LASIK.
Oh, no.
But actually, I get more requests without glasses.
Really?
Yeah, because when I shoot cameos,
Yeah.
because if you go to cameo.com, there's an app. But if you go to cameo.com and search for Peter Lillyman or Justin Timberlake, you'll find me.
And they want them without the glasses. I'm surprised.
Everybody wants without the glasses. Yeah, I gotta like spice up my eyebrows, because Justin has very thick eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
And so I've got to put a little makeup-y on there and get him a little thicker. But once I do that, it helps out phenomenally. Yeah. But yeah, it's always been something fun, out of the norm.
So he gets to go and do appearances at really big, like, I don't know what kinds of conferences and all sorts of different things. And
corporate, film.
It's like your alter ego, and I know you don't spend a lot of time doing that, but it's just kind of a fun and unique side of you.
Not anymore. But if you want to check out some more, peterlillyman.com.
Yeah,
that's not a plug.
It's crazy. You'll be stunned. You'll be like, is that who Renee was interviewing today? So
it breaks up the monotony.
Yeah, definitely. So great person. Really fun to meet you. I'm really glad everyone on the show was able to meet you today. And is there any final words or any last minute messages you want to give the viewers?
I just want to say thank you for having me on. And it's always great to talk to another great human being. So I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy this season is for roofers. So I even texted you this morning. I was thinking you were going to be like, I just don't have time. And I really appreciate you coming in today in the middle of your day to talk to me. So, well, everybody, this is Peter Lillyman, a.k.a. Justin Timberlake. And we'll be signing off, and we'll get to see you guys in a few weeks. Thanks for tuning in.